Have you ever wondered how all this AI stuff works? Here's the thing, most people AI is like magic. Complex algorithm, enormous data sets, and math only reserved for the experts. Well, I'm going to break it down for you using the simple concept of a dot. It's important for you to know this because it's already part of all our lives. It will determine the future, including yours. So having an understanding of it will empower you to make better decisions and also allow you to use the tools better. Here's what you'll get from this video: a clear understanding of what AI is doing, how it's doing it, and how it's built using a simple concept. What's up, AI juicers? Denis here. If you're new here, we're dedicated at squeezing every single drop of value out of AI. If you find any value in this video, please drop a like and subscribe. And so before we begin, what is AI actually doing? In simple terms, it's just guessing. You give it some text and it will try its best to guess the next part of your sentence. That's it. Rinse and repeat. But now you're probably wondering how it's guessing the next part of your sentence. Most people imagine AI as a complex web of algorithm, data, and high-level math. But it can be broken down into something straightforward and basic. So let's dive in. It all starts with a point. A point by itself doesn't know where in the world it is. So we add some basic axes. We add one on the bottom, usually called the X, and then one on the side called the Y. And now the point can know where it is. And that's all the math you're going to need to understand this. To create an AI system or large language model, you need training data. Imagine an Excel file where you have two columns. One would be the text that a human writes, and then the second column would be the text that we expect a robot to say. And in that file, imagine millions, if not billions of lines. It's a huge file. That text is then converted to numbers. To make it simple, we could imagine that A is a 1, B is a 2, and so on and so forth. We do this obviously because math works better with numbers. We then take those numbers and plot them on the graph from earlier. And you end up with billions of dots on that graph. Now that we have all the dots on the graph, it's time to find the best fit. We're going to try to draw a line that matches as many points as possible. This is the process called training. We're going to try a bunch of different lines. We're going to go up, down, until we find one that best fits all the dots. And we choose that one. And that line that we choose is what we call the model. Just like you hear ChatGPT 3.5, 4, Gemini, Mistral, Claude, and so on and so forth. That's what the model is. It's that line that represents the most dots. And now that we have that model, or that line, as soon as we give it a new user input, we can follow it to the line and go back to the Y and get that famous prediction. And that's it. That's AI. Well, almost. It does get a little bit more complicated, but only because of the volume. Right now, we're just doing a simple 2D, like a cartoon. We also can wrap our mind around the 3D. That's the world we live in. But then 4D gets more complicated. Not even to mention a billion different dimensions. That's when our brain gets lost and can no longer process it. And that's okay. You know how it works. It's just using that simple drawing a billion times. And the mystical veil of magic around AI has been lifted. You now know what AI is doing, how it's doing it, and how it's built, empowering you to approach AI with a deeper understanding, and should now also recognize the limitations of AI, and they cannot be a complete source of truth, at least yet. And there are two main sources for these issues. The first one is going to be the training data. That data comes from the internet, and not everything you read on the internet is true, surprisingly. And two, you remember that curve we drew? It doesn't fit perfectly all the dots on it. There's going to be some that are going to be way higher and way lower. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Thanks for watching. If you found this useful, please drop a like, comment, and let me know what you would like to learn next. See you next time.